Welcome, everybody, to this very special webinar event. I'm here today with Sara Núñez. She is a certified speaker, coach, and trainer for the Gallup organization. And it's very important that you listen today because when it comes to finding purpose, part of that, one important building block of that is really being able to recognize your strengths. And as I said, Sara is a certified speaker, coach, and trainer for the Gallup organization. She helps people to take their business and their lives to the next level. And that's no mean feat, and it's something that Sara does day in, day out. So really listen up. Sara, thank you so much for joining me today.
Alice, thank you so much for doing this for a lot of people out there who are in the search of the great job and their great opportunity in life. So I want to join you in your effort because we all need you. We need you to keep us focused, and transformation is happening everywhere. So if we don't keep an eye on how things are happening, then we cannot position ourselves for success. And so I'm really excited to be here. We're going to be talking a little bit about a way of understanding who we are, what are our preferences, and by doing that, you will be able to see clearly where you want to go.
Absolutely, and I think I agree with you wholeheartedly, and thank you for your kind words as well. And I think it all came about for me because of that, well, partly because of that big statistic that Gallup put out, that 87% statistic of people not being engaged in work, and that's a worldwide statistic. Phenomenal statistic, and I think, you're helping too. We're all part of the same movement, I guess, in terms of helping people to get a really fulfilled life and get their career along the right lines. And obviously, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are wanting to know more about what you do and what the strengths, what Gallup does, and what the strength assessment is. Could you just fill us in on that, please, Sara?
Absolutely. And it touched my heart when you talk about the 87% of the people not being engaged. Just stop for a second and let's think deep on what that really means to you, to myself, and to all of you who are listening to this webinar. We are the humans beings. Yes, business go and look for numbers. Are we productive enough to make the X number million of dollars? So when you see 87% people are not engaged, means that they're not happy doing their job, right? And by definition, productivity gets impacted.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go back to the numbers in business, you see, wow, we put in a lot of money to invest in new products and services and innovate, but we're not moving the needle. So for the last 20 years, every single country in the world is struggling with their economy indicators. We're not moving the needle. That means that we're not making the return back on the investment that we're making. Why do we care? They have a lot of money. We don't have to worry. We got a paycheck. But we should care. Because as soon as you see that companies are not making money, there is a domino effect. And it touched you, it touched me, it touched all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Poverty goes up. Unemployment goes up. Poverty goes up. And what is poverty? It's the ability for us to survive in a world where we cannot provide to our families. Our mortgage cannot be paid. Food cannot come in the table the way it used to be. So our quality of life goes down. So when we talk about happiness in the workplace, and 87% are not engaged and not happy, imagine those that don't have a job. So those 87% has to feel accountable to really move the needle, because poverty will knock your door. So let's keep that in mind. I want you to think hard on what I said, because it brings a level of accountability for us to really find the right job and be happy on the job. So engagement goes up, productivity goes up, indicators will get better, and we will have a job and our neighbors will have a job. So that's the goal, That's the bottom line, and it's our responsibility. So I want to go back and answer your question. You want to know what is the Clifton Strength Finder assessment and how that can help us, right? Finding the right job and doing things in a different way. Well, our neural system is wired differently for each of us. That's the beauty of it. God was very creative
Mm-hmm.
because we're able to figure out a formula that make us all different. And different is good. Uniqueness is good. So the Strength Finder is a method that will allow you to really know how you are wired. What do you like? Why do you do things the way you do? Do you wonder sometimes, why do I like white and I don't like green?
Absolutely, yes.
Right? Why do I love talking to people and I'm afraid of talking to people? Why is
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
So the Clifton Strength Finder is an assessment for your talents, for those things that automatically jump when you are in a situation. Okay, there is about 34 different themes, and there is top five strengths that can be identified. And the beauty is that those top five that you can identify are the ones that gets activated 80% of the time when a situation comes in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine how powerful it will be to know what are your top five strengths that
Absolutely.
that come right into mind when something come up? And it's also a way of knowing who we are because we sometimes get so busy to see outside our horizon. But how about looking inside
Mm-hmm.
and really get deep and connect with each of us and really know who we are, right? So the talents will allow you to identify the people, the person inside you, and your preference.
And I'm curious. I mean, I've done my top five as well. I'm still, it's. I suppose it's eye opening. It's very eye opening, and it's liberating in many ways because, like you said, it helps you to really, I suppose, focus your talents in the right direction. What were your top five? I'm just curious to know what your top five are and what they say about you.
Well, my top five, the first one is a maximizer. A maximizer is a person who can take good to great. And I was, my eyes open up because I'm a perfectionist. So I do want to get to great, so I connected very nicely with the first talent. The second one is an achiever. I get things done. Hey, don't doubt. You give me something and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Very reliable. So I'm the person that people will go to because they know I'm going to deliver. The third one is responsibility. Yes, I have a sense of responsibility. I need to help others. I have the need to support anybody and everything. I have that need that make me responsible to make things happen. Okay. The fourth one is a relator. I relate very nicely. I related with you since the moment you sent me a note, Alex. I think that what you're doing is so phenomenal
Thank
that
you.
I basically remove everything in my book to make sure that I'm here with you. I related with you automatically. So usually a relator is somebody who connect with people that have a common purpose. And you also look like you're a helper because you're doing this and you have so much love for what you're doing. So we are very connected in that area.
Excellent.
The last one is a futuristic. I can see the future. I can paint it and I can definitely describe it in a way that is real. People can see it with me, which make me very happy because that give a sense of um, confident that whatever we're gonna get to is gonna be a great place. So I'm gonna be able to visualize that and bring the people together to that vision. Those are my top five.
Wonderful. Well, as I said, this call is all about you. So and what you're doing. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about my strengths, but my top five. I'm a relator. Another one of my top five strengths is belief. Another is significance. Another is deliberative, and another one is harmony. But we've got some in common in our top 10. So, for example, you said a maximizer. I think you said relator as well, didn't you? So we've got some in common. And as I said, if our listeners want to know more about their strengths and I suppose in the long run what their strengths are, then listen out for another webinar that we're going to do, or at least listen out for information that will help you to understand your own strengths. But Sarah, thank you for outlining yours for us. What brought you to the point where you thought to yourself, you needed to figure out what your strengths are?
Yeah. So I've been in business for about 30 years. When I came to the United States, I was very fortunate to land in a job with Metro One, the first wireless company deploying wireless services here in the Northeast region of the United States back in the 80s. And it was a startup. So high energy, getting out there and doing everything for everybody really helped me for my next promotion. My boss saw a potential in me, and she basically supported me to go back to school and get my master's degree while I was getting promotions after promotion, because that great energy that you can bring to the workplace and the excitement when you are in your 20s, right? 13 years later, the company became AT&T Wireless, the largest company in the United States, deploying telecommunications services, even worldwide. And it was time for a change. There were transitions going on. Another company bought the company, and there were a lot of things happening. And basically, you got the opportunity to move on in your career. At that time, I felt the need to really know who I am and where I needed to go. And my mentor, coaching me on how to define what is the perfect next job and remove some of the fears of who's gonna hire me. Everybody loved me at Metro One. I've been there since I was a teenager, but now I'm in my 30th, and do I really feel confident to go get the next job? And am I gonna get a management job? If I'm gonna go back knocking the doors. I'm gonna be competing with many people. So one of his recommendation was, what about if you identify those strengths? Know who you are, Sarah. And when you're preparing for your interview, you're gonna be able to have confidence, and you're gonna remove all those fears because you have a lot to offer. And I think it was the best advice ever. He gave me a book. You bought a book in the store, and you get a code. And I went ahead and did a job, and I did my assessment. I read the book, and I understood a little bit more of who I was and how I wanted to position myself. I got the next job very successfully, and I basically got a job as a manager. So going through my own experience, I realized that I wanted to know what was the strength of my employees, so I can assign the right jobs for them to be happy. And second, I can optimize the teamwork activities, because if we all know who are our strengths, we can complement each other. It was such a great success that, believe me, in the next job, I also got the opportunity to be promoted as a director. So I passed it on to my managers. Then it's my managers and the team who also use the framework in this approach to really optimize our way of working and making those goals a reality for the organization. So even today, those managers who are listening to me, hopefully they can join your conference. They know that this was our best thing that we ever done, and they're doing it now for their teams in their careers. So I now became a certified coach because I really believe that by helping people understanding their talents, productivity goes up. But more importantly, they're going to enjoy the job. And you know what? We are forgetting about the people factor. We are so focused on making money and doing things and making the quotes for the month that we forget that we are human. So I want to call everybody out there to make that recognition that we can never lose ourselves by forgetting that we are human, and we are spending time at work, and it's like spending time with family. So how about if we enjoy those 8 hours at work every day and do the best we can?
Absolutely. And like you said, I hear on that, because like I said, we spend so much of our time with, probably more time with our fellow co-workers than we do with our families. So the very least we should do is aim to enjoy what we do, to really seek out work that is aligned with our strengths, is aligned with our values, is aligned with our personal goals. And like Sarah said, it's knowing your strengths, and I've said it as well, is just really eye-opening, because then so many other things fall into place. You know, if you know your strengths, you can find people who are like yourself, companies who are like yourself. You can, you know, interview better, knowing that your strengths are, are there, and you can really understand them and confidently talk about them. You can align yourself with people who aren't necessarily like you. You can align yourself with people who complement your skills as well and who have different skills to yours. You can use it within your teams to actually understand how to build relationships with people and interact and improve your productivity, as Sarah said. So it overlaps into so many different things. So Sarah, thank you so much for giving us that outline, and that assessment that you did, that strength assessment that you did, it's opened up so many things to you. By the sounds of it, it's got you into a role that you really enjoyed. It got you promotion. It got your team working together. But what did that assessment? It sounds like it could be, to some people, might be quite an arduous thing. But what does it entail? What does it involve?
Yeah, the assessment, knowing who you are and your preference is so powerful. So powerful. It's like, hey, if you're a doctor and you focus on solving for a specific disease, you're going to be reading about that every single day and you're going to love it, right? You're going to find ways to fix that. So that's exactly what happened when we identified our strengths. We can maximize them. We can learn that, hey, this is my top strength and this is how I'm automatically reacting to a situation. When you are aware of them, you can maximize them. You can make it better, because honestly, here's what I learned. I'm a maximizer. I'm an achiever. I told you already, I'm a perfectionist. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I'm overloading people with work. I get it done now. I want it now. So when I start seeing my behaviors because of my talents and my automatic reaction, right? I realized that I needed to mold them a little bit and make it better of me, a better manager, because the point here is that I need to influence, I need to bring people along, I need to motivate them. I cannot overload them. Mm-hmm. So what does it tell us is who we are, what our preference, what our behaviors, and it also helps us shaping or knowing where we want to go. So by definition, when I got my strengths, I already finished my bachelor's degree. So it was too late for me to say, oh, I should pick another career. No, what I did is, okay, with the scope of what I went to school for and who I am and how I can maximize my talents, where I can specialize myself. Where am I going to be outstanding? What are the kind of jobs that I want to go apply for? That's when project management came into mind. Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go learn about project management, get my certification, and use that because I love getting things done. I love working with people and relating with them. I have a sense of responsibility. So that project is going to be completed no matter what. And I can visualize if that project is going to be successful in the marketplace. So back 20 years ago, I identified the areas of expertise for me based on my strengths. Today, I'm an industry expert on the topic because I'm taking good to great. I'm a maximizer. And at the same time, I'm using all my strengths for my advantage because I need to grow in my career. I have a purpose in life that I needed to reach. And now I'm doing it with love. I have a sense of determination on anything I want. My level of integrity is extremely high. I let the rules and the guidance really show me how to do things right. And last, my passion. I have to love everything. I'm enjoying this conversation with you so much that I'm having the best moment of my day. So you have to love what you do. And you know, when you work with your heart, that's satisfaction comes, and that's where engagement and happiness really happen.
No, excellent. It's so true. And you know, my next question was going to be how has it all made you feel? But it's obvious that it's really, you know, it's obviously brought out the best in you. And I've seen the effects it's had on other people as well in terms of bringing out the best, their, you know, being their best self. And that's what it's really all about in terms of being happy. It's not about being like somebody else or copying somebody else. It's about being using those unique talents to do things the way that you would do it, and to make you happy in that sense. And there's a process that you have to go through in order to get your strengths profile, isn't there, Sarah? And I did it. I did my test the other day via. It was an online test. How did you find it? How did you find the test, and you know, how long did it take you to do it?
Yeah, well, back when I did it for the first time, my mentor recommended me the book, and I just went and bought the book. Okay, the book gives you a code in the back, and you can go online and do your assessment. It takes a lot of effort to understand what those talents are and what that really entail on you. So I think I use the method without really knowing how to describe them and how to really understand them. At Gallup, as I went through the certification process, I really value their approach. They certify coaches just like me to really master those talents. So when you do your assessment, I can basically go deeper and help you identify those for yourself, and it help you also taking them and start practicing how do you apply them or claim them when you are in a situation. So as a coach, if you have a goal in mind, as a Sarah, listen, I'm in a transition mode, I really want to get to the job that I want, here's some of the frustrations I have. My job as a coach is really to show you how you can claim those top talent and put it in use to find the right job and to really find those things that will make you happy. And then what we can also help you as a coach is help you develop them. Remember, they're in the raw way. You when you identify them and you start saying, "Wow, that's definitely me," you haven't put any effort to make it better because you didn't know what they were. So a coach, an executive coach, will help you shaping them to a way that you're gonna maximize your talent and really you're gonna know how you can combine them and solve for issues, or how do you combine them and really get to something that you want to get to. So it goes a little bit deeper than just reading the book. You know, that coaching one-on-one session is going to be the priceless ways of you really understanding your talent through an expert who has been doing a lot of research and being on top of how people are really behaving. Gallup has been working for this for more than 20 years. I think it's been more than 20 years, and they have about 14 million people participating in this assessment. So we have plenty data and to really get to the point, and that's why when you read those top five, you mention it. You're like, wow, yes, that's me. I'm discovering myself. It's so precise that you're definitely going to be able to take great advantage just by doing the assessment because you start understanding why your preferences and now you know better who you are.
Yeah, and Sarah, it's a great point. I mean, it's very much data driven. Um, and I think data is important in, and also the expertise that Gallup has in terms of developing this assessment, such that each person is basically one in, is it 300 million? So each profile, each assessment that you do, you're one in basically 300 million with those particular uh, um, order of strength, as it were. And I think it's yeah. When you look at data, sometimes well, I'm the kind of person. Sometimes when I look at data and I read things, um, I I ponder the data and I sometimes try to make sense of the data. But I think it's key to get somebody like Sarah to sit down with you via Skype or in person to actually go through that, and so that you can understand not only each one of the strengths that you have, but also how each one of those strengths can work with each other, and to help you bring out the best in yourself. So it's a relatively quick assessment, and it can have, you know, it can have such a broad impact and a wide impact on your life, you know, for the next few years. So it's that time that you commit to actually doing that assessment online is an investment in itself. So it's worth it. And as I said, somebody like Sarah, I'm going to give you a link as well to Sarah's going to give us a link a bit later on to her website. Can help you to really understand yourself. It's worth the investment. And one big thing, so that I always get, or one big question that I always get, and a question that often arises at interview, is the whole question about what's your biggest strength, you know, and then comes the other one, what's your biggest weakness? How do you think that the knowing your strengths in this way can help you to answer that sort of question?
Well, I think even a start before you get into that question, Alex. When you know your strengths, the first thing is that you're gonna be applying for the job that you want. That's a big change in the way that we just go apply for the job that we think is a job that we qualify. But by knowing who you are and where your passion is and what really drives you, you're gonna be able to select the right job to apply for it. Okay? So when you get to the interview, it's the job that you want. What do you think your brain is telling you? You're gonna be so excited in the interview, you're gonna have a big smile, you're gonna be like, this is mine. The second is confidence. Because now you can position yourself. You know yourself so well that you can position yourself, you know, with those strengths. So when the question comes, what are your strengths? It's gonna be automatically, hey, you know, I'm a maximizer. That means that I'm gonna take good things to the greatest possibilities. So that I'm gonna be working out to really drive with excellence. Beautiful answer, right? I'm gonna drive with excellence. What are your weaknesses? Well, here, what I find out is that yes, I have top talents that will allow me to really maximize everything that I'm doing to support your organization. But I'm going to be able to work with a group of people and we're going to complement each other. We're going to be able to manage our weakness. So honestly, I have identified my weakness in a way that I can manage them. Therefore, it's not going to be in the way to give you what you need in your organization because we're all going to complement each other. And I am so good on connecting the dots with people and bring them along that, hey, the weakness are not important anymore.
Absolutely.
Because I'm here to deliver what you're looking for. So, you know, it help you positioning yourself with confidence and then be able to talk about who you are and how you complement yourself with other and how you can manage your weakness. That is really powerful, I think. And then after you leave that interview, you know, you're going to feel better. Even if you don't get the job, you know that you did the best you could. But I guarantee you that you will get the job. Because your confidence and that is smiling that you come to the meeting or to that interview with somebody else, it's going to open the door for you. So everything starts with you. And I have to tell you, transformation also starts with you and everybody's transforming. Therefore, you have to really know who you are and how you're going to be able to play in any position you look for.
No, absolutely. And again, I agree with you wholeheartedly in terms of, you know, it doesn't start with the interview. It starts with knowing your strengths, because then there's going to be that knock-on effect. You're going to automatically seek out companies that are aligned to your strengths. When you get to that interview, it's just going to be blatantly obvious to the interviewer that, yes, this person is somebody who's really thought about applying for this job, applying to this company, and it will just come more naturally to you to answer those sorts of questions. So thank you for that, Sarah. Thank you. And my final question in this part, at least anyway, is about, and you touched on this a bit earlier on, but just wanted to go a little bit more deeply into this. The Strengths Finder is not only for people who are not working or, you know, want a career change or want to move. It's for people who are quite happy in their company, so to speak, but perhaps you've got to the point where you're stagnating. You've got to a point where you don't know, you're liking the people that you work with, but you want to figure out how to take your current position to the next level. How can people use the strength to actually do that, Sarah?
Yeah, I think this is a very important question because it's not just about getting the job. It's about doing a great job and feeling that engagement and that happiness in the workplace and eventually really move the needle in the economy, right? Because we have that responsibility to bring food to the table and ensure that we're generating more jobs and we eliminate that unemployment rates going so high. We just have to alleviate that down. We need to create more. So there is a lot of room for career opportunity in the marketplace as we transforming, as time is going by, because now we have to, hey, we start 20, but in 10 years I'm going to be 30, and in 10 years I'm going to be 40. You have to give room for those guys coming up, the new millennium taking place, right? And we have to start stepping to a different direction. So we all have to be thinking that our life has to transform, has to change, has to improve, and you have to move to your career path. Knowing what you love, knowing your talents really help you shaping yourself and setting that path in a better way, in a way that people are going to notice your strengths because you are developing them, you're shaping them every day. And guess what? The opportunities are coming to you. You're not going to be looking for that opportunity. Those opportunities are going to come automatically when you have that positive attitude, and you get to that positive attitude and positive energy by believing on who you are, by giving your best and be happy on what you're doing. So I think your career path is something that you all have to think about it. And know when you get the job, it has to be constantly revisiting. Where do I want to get to? What am I doing to get there? What do I need to shape for myself to be a better leader and be able to take it on? How I can really develop the people coming. How am I getting the people ready to take my place? So if I have a great person taking my place, there's a better chance for me to get to the next one. So don't look ahead. You have to look back and be able to bring those people with you. So it is so powerful when you feel empowered, when you feel that your talents is giving you the confidence you need to go forward, but also to be there with everybody coming along so you can help the organization. You shape the organization, you transform, and then you move along. So it is empowering to know who you are, what your preferences are, why you acting the way you are, because you take more control on your own development, right? You know who is the Sarah that I want to see in the next position and what things I need to adjust because they're not helping me in this current position. You have to be more aware of your actions, right? If I'm being too aggressive and I'm overloading people, stop it. You need to shape yourself. You need to balance. You have to see the big picture. So your career path depends on your development, and your development depends on how honest you are with yourself. So assessing yourself and understanding who you are, keeping an eye on how this can be utilized for you to move forward is the key for success.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great, Sarah. Thank you for that. And if people want to find you and look for you, and obviously I'm sure there are going to be people out there that are thinking to themselves, how can I take the next step? Where can people find you, Sarah? What's your website address?
Yeah, my website address is strategyxsolutions.com. Is what I'm trying to do is really working with companies and helping them to get to the next level. So I'm an assessor. I will come over to an organization and assess processes. I assess their strategy and their performance, how well they're doing, and then I look at the people factor. And so, what are we doing from the people perspective? Do we have the right resources? Do we need to energize them? Do we need to motivate them? And that's how we use the strengths to help those companies. I also coach individuals who are moving into their career path, and I also coach them in the personal side. Because as you understand who you are, you're going to be a better husband, a better son, a better friend. So there's so many other aspects of Gallup that we manage here, because my goal is to help you succeed, and my goal is to help you finding your purpose so you feel happy. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm gonna be running a promotion for you, Alex, because as I said, we got this connection, and I really want to help your audience. I can even do it for free. So just call me up. I love to help. I'm here to really push you forward. I'm in the journey to bring people under my wings, as somebody did for me when I was moving in my career path. And I have to say, it was not only one, many people helped me out, pushed me forward. And I think that's why I'm taking the time to talk to all of you, to energize you, to empower you, to feel that you can do anything you want, because I believe you do. I believe you do, because I did it. I did it, and we can do it again. So, reach out to me. Look for Sara Núñez. I'm in social media. I'm in LinkedIn. I'm in the website. Reach out, send me a note, and I'll be here to help you, guide you through the process, and make you succeed. And when you succeed, please send me a note. Tell this story, because we need to motivate others. I want to share that with everybody under this effort that I have. So I'm really, really excited. And Alex, if you need anything, you just have to call. I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave your LinkedIn and Twitter in the notes below and the website, so that people who are watching the video, share it with them. So they can click through and contact you directly. And as Sarah said, she's there for you. And I think this is what it's all about. This movement with and especially with the Careers with Purpose Summit is about helping you to overcome those hurdles, those barriers that are preventing you from not just finding work, but finding work that is meaningful and fulfilling. And not just finding work, but also making the most of your current role, your current opportunity, your relationships with people. So, Sarah, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely, Alice. I'm really happy that we're able to help people and touch their hearts. So I'm hoping everybody's smiling right now
I
as
hope
they
so too.
watching this webinar, because that's definitely something that we're giving you as a gift for all of you. This great energy, and I want to leave by saying, believe in yourself. That's the most important thing. Have a purpose, know where you need to go, define your north. Don't be afraid. Have that sense of determination to make it happen, and find that little thing that make you happy, because when you do things that you love, you're gonna succeed. I haven't found anybody in the world that is doing something that they love, that they're not smiling and they're not succeeding. So I think you next, and I want you to smile, and I want you to move forward. So hopefully see you in the next webinar.
Excellent. And I'll let everybody know about the next webinar as well. Thank you, Sarah.
Great, thank you.